companies, Clean Science and Technology and GR Infra Projects, will roll out their initial share sale offers on 7th of July to raise a little over 2,500 crores cumulatively. The big question for investors is which one should they choose? Experts say both companies look good from an investment standpoint. So let's get you the details of each of these companies to help you decide whether or not you should subscribe. First up, Clean Science and Technology. The subscription opens on 7th July, closes on 9th of July. The price band is 880 to 900 rupees per share. The total issue size is close to 1550 crore rupees. The company will not receive any of the proceeds from the offer for sale. The selling shareholders will receive the net proceeds from this particular OFS. Let's tell you a bit more about the company. It's one of the fastest growing and among the most profitable specialty chemical manufacturing companies globally. It manufactures functionally critical specialty chemicals, the likes of performance chemicals, pharma intermediates, and even FMCG chemicals. It is also the largest manufacturer globally of MEHQ, BHA, Anisole, and Formap in terms of manufacturing capabilities and capacity as of March end. Focused essentially on developing newer technologies using enhanced catalytic processes which are eco-friendly and cost competitive. The company's name was changed to Clean Science and Technology in 2006 rather. The name was changed to reflect the vision of focusing on sustainable chemistry led by innovative technology and lower effluents. So now the company, if you look at it, has two manufacturing facilities in India located in Maharashtra. The combined installed capacity is close to 30,000 MTPA. It has a capacity utilization rate of 72% in FY20. You can peg it against the likes of Vinati Organics, Fine Organics, Atul Limited, SRF, Naveen Fluorine, PI Industries, Camlin Fine Sciences, etc. as far as listed peers go. Financials have been very strong and consistent. That's one of the key strengths as well for the company. It has a track record of strategic process innovation through consistent R&D initiatives. It has a de-risked business model. Essentially, it's among the largest producers globally of functionally critical specialty chemicals used across various industries and markets. It has experienced promoters and senior management with extensive domain knowledge. There's also strong and long-standing relationship with its key clients. It has automated manufacturing facilities with proven design and commercialization capabilities. Now let's talk about the key risks to watch out for. It has outstanding litigation proceedings against the company and its directors. It has certain capital commitments that have not been provided for in its financial statements, which, if materialized, could impact the financial condition of the company. The company's group companies have incurred losses in the last 3 fiscal years. There's significant proportion of revenue which is coming in from the sale of MEHQ, and any reduction in demand for MEHQ could have an adverse effect on the business. The company also gets a significant portion of its revenue from operations from limited number of markets, and any negative development in these markets could affect their business as well. Also remember, the company is subject to strict quality requirements, regular inspections and audits by entities like US FDA, Bureau Veritas, and the success and wide acceptability of their products is largely dependent upon their quality controls and high standards. The company also, like I said, will not receive any proceeds from the OFS. It has issued equity shares at prices that could be probably lower than the offer price over the last 12 months. Moving on to the second IPO candidate, GR Infra Projects. The subscription is open from 7th to 9th July. Price band is 828 to 837 rupees a share. Issue size is between 952 to 962 crores. Again, this company also will not receive any proceeds from the IPO. All the proceeds will go to the selling shareholders. About the company now. It's an integrated road EPC company with experience in design and construction of road and highway projects across 15 states. Since 2006, the company has executed over 100 road construction projects. The principal business operations are broadly divided into 3 categories: civil construction, development of roads, highways on a BOT basis, and manufacturing activities. Since 2006, the company has executed more than 100 road construction projects. It also has experience in constructing state and national highways, bridges, culverts, flyovers, airport runways, tunnels, and rail over bridges. It also has recently diversified into projects in the railway sector. You can peg it against listed peers like KNR Construction, PNC Infratech, HG Infra, Dilip Buildcon, Ashoka Buildcon, IRB Infrastructure, and even a Sadbhav Engineering. Financials have been consistently consistently strong over the last three fiscals, both top and bottom line fronts. Both have been seen consistent growth. The company has over 25 years of experience in executing EPC projects. It has more than 100 road construction projects executed since 2006. It has a track record of efficient project management and execution experience. In fact, it's developed key competencies and resources in-house to deliver projects from conceptualization all the way till completion. It has strong growth in business in the past three fiscals, which has contributed significantly to financial strength. In FY20, the company recorded highest ROCE of 32.2% among key EPC players in terms of ROE. It had ranked first in FY20 among the key EPC players. Let's also talk about the key risks to watch out for. The continuing effect of COVID-19 on its business is highly uncertain. One cannot predict what will happen, how the impact will be. Also, there's inability to meet obligations, conditions, and restrictions imposed by financing agreements, which could affect the business adversely. The company derives majority of its revenue from civil construction businesses, and its financial condition would be materially impacted if it fails to obtain any new contracts or its current contracts are terminated for any reason. The company is primarily dependent on road projects in India, which are undertaken or awarded by government. So any adverse changes in the central or state government policies could lead to its contracts being foreclosed, terminated, restructured, or renegotiated, which may have a material effect on its business and results of operations. There are outstanding legal proceedings against the company, its directors, promoters, and subsidiaries, also something to watch out for. Its actual cost in executing an EPC contract or in constructing a project may vary substantially from the assumptions underlying its bid. It may be unable to recover all or some of the additional expenses, which could have a material effect once again on its result of operations, cash flow, and financial conditions. So there you have it, the pros and the cons of both of these upcoming IPOs for you to weigh for yourself and choose whether you should subscribe or not.